If he just boned his mom, that would have all fixed it too.
So welcome everyone to episode 11 of Not Really But Kinda, the podcast on the podcast. Joining me today is Chris and Kitt.
We're about to fight.
We're about to fight. We're about to fucking
This
throw
is
down.
the episode where it's everything on the table.
Oh god, yeah.
This is gonna be it. By the way, congratulations to 1 year.
Thank you.
That the last episode was amazing.
Right?
I loved it when y'all talked about things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Can we talk about episode 10 for
Yeah,
a minute?
let's talk
and
about
how
episode
great
10 for a
episode
minute.
10 was.
Oh yeah, I watched it like 12 times. I think.
I can't believe we went 24 hours straight.
Yeah, that was
can't
crazy.
believe it.
I thought
I haven't slept for that long.
I thought Maya was gonna have a heart attack when she started snorting all that
I was
cocaine.
gonna say, speaking
to
of Maya,
stay
it's weird that she finally revealed that she's been a 45-year-old man this entire time, and she just had a
The
really
voice
good
changer
voice
was-
changer.
The voice changer was really convincing.
Super
But, like,
convincing.
when
Like,
she
and she had like the
ripped off
Twitter
the
account and
mask-
everything, and I was like, wow, this is a
Yeah.
child. Nope.
Yeah.
Her name's actually Jo. She's from Connecticut. Not even Maine. I don't know why she made up Maine. Like, she could have just said Connecticut.
Yeah,
it would have
no.
stayed. It would have been fine. Nobody would like question it.
Nobody
but yeah.
cares about Connecticut either.
Right. Yeah, it's equally as useless as quote unquote Maine. So
Yeah, Maine's
I mean,
stupid.
that's pretty. You gotta admire her dedication. She made up a whole
What?
state.
his dedication.
Joe.
Joe's
Well,
dedication.
that's actually why he's not here today too. Is because he's a 40-year-old, 50. What did we say? 70-year-old man.
I don't remember. Old.
Yeah.
Old. Very old.
Old.
And like the whole thing about old guys hitting on her
went to the
at
hospital,
the grocery store.
So
Fake.
thoughts and prayers
Things got
to
real weird.
thoughts and
Super
prayers,
weird.
I guess.
Yeah, or something.
So yeah,
Yeah,
that
or-
was a basic recap of episode 10.
Yeah.
Go back and watch it if you haven't. All those things definitely happened.
Yeah. Somebody won money too, or something.
Yeah, we
Oh,
had
yeah.
$1 million cash giveaway.
Yep.
Tim
which-
won it.
which
Also,
if you go back and watch it, you can totally enter in to the
Yeah.
fictional
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
again.
and I actually died during the live stream as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
yeah,
had to
that
do
was-
it
Because I
live,
edited
live
2 whole
on
episodes of the
camera.
Showy Show in 2 days, and I died.
He literally actually died. He had to
Yeah.
be resuscitated on screen. It was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It was also live film too. So
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
the whole thing was live on Twitch, and
It was a 24-hour live audience
yeah.
experience,
and it was also
brought to
it
us
was
by Red
also
Bull and
partially
cocaine.
games on Quick Stream. So
yeah.
we were having a podcast, and in the corner there was
game
socially
being our
awkward
mental
40,
fortitude.
25-year-olds with neckbeards playing Zelda. So
Yeah.
what is with neckbeards?
listen,
No.
some of us can only grow so much.
pretty
Okay.
great.
I can only grow like Oompa Loompa hair, and
What is-
you don't
what
see
does
me
that
trying
mean?
to make that a thing.
What does Oompa Loompa hair mean?
Like I can grow hair out of my cheeks. That's it. Like it
Wait,
grows out
wait.
like an Oompa Loompa.
what Oompa
and
Loompa
I'm
has
not
hair
like-
growing out of his cheeks? They're all clean shaven.
I'm
aren't
not
they?
like, hey, cheek hair. That's what you need. So neck hair shouldn't be a thing either. That's all I'm trying
Yeah.
to say.
I can only grow a neck beard, so I do try to keep that shit under wrap. You know,
I just gave up and rock mine now.
you just like, you know what?
I just own it.
beard.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I've got my like I had a weird beard before. Now I've got an even weirder beard,
Yeah.
and I just rock it. It's
But the
part of
fact that
my
it's
cultural
fuller than
identity.
whatever the fuck you had before, it does look better.
Oh, does it really?
Yeah, well, because the little chin thing was weird.
It was. I just kind of did that in high school because it was like it's not
Well-
necessarily a neck beard because at least now I can. I don't know why I grew that, but I had it for like 3 years.
Well, yeah, because you say in high school, but you had it in college too, because that's when I met you and you had it then. So
Yeah, like 6 months ago, I was just like, you know what, I'm done shaving. I just
Are you-
give up.
Are you not in high school right now?
Oh, sorry.
oh yeah, right.
I'm giving up my ruse.
I go to Rydell High. Where do you guys go? What's your favorite fictional high school?
So, where are we gonna start this thing?
What do you mean?
Kid,
where are we
I
gonna
hate you.
start
Let's
it?
go.
Wait, have we?
Shirts off now.
And go.
Pineapple on pizza sucks.
You're
Dude,
wrong.
It
Next.
does. It's so bad.
Okay. Let me paint you a little word picture for you real fast. Okay.
Depends on the pizza.
You have a pizza, right? And you're like, oh my god, this bread that I'm sticking in my mouth face is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I can feel it like melting on my lips and my tongue. The cheese is hitting me. The barbecue, because barbecue's amazing on pizza.
It is.
And oh, what's that? That's a little piece of chicken, perfectly grilled, just nuzzling in your mouth. And then, out of nowhere, it's like somebody took a shit in your mouth.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say. It's all of a sudden like, yeah, no, okay, I'm with you until that point, because yeah, it's like, ooh, savory, salty, cheesy, whatever, and all of a sudden this like squirting of juices and like bitterness of a fucking pineapple, and it's like a totally contradictory flavor to the rest of the pizza.
Have y'all ever eaten a pineapple before? Because I don't think y'all have. It doesn't, because what you're describing is not a pineapple. What you're describing sounds like an acorn. And if you're putting acorns...
I love pineapples. That's actually one of my favorite fruits.
Yeah, pineapples are good on their own, yeah.
Yeah, and they don't belong on pizza, because you know what belongs on pizza? Not pineapples. Anything else, literally.
No, not literally anything else, because I've also had a hamburger bacon cheeseburger pizza that had pickles on it, and also and had the same issue of being fucking gross, because it was such a contradictory flavor to the rest of the pizza.
See, I think I've had, like, the only pizza I'll get pineapple on is exactly actually what Kitt described, which is a barbecue chicken pizza. And it's the only pizza I've ever had where it's actually good on it. Now, most pizza, yeah, it's garbage with pineapple on it. I'm not going to slap pineapple on a pepperoni pizza and call it good.
Whoa. You're, like, backing up now.
No.
Was our argument too good that you're like, no, I need to...
No, you know what? You guys are right.
No.
Okay. I'll give y'all, like, most pizza.
Listen to me.
But
this, I will fight you right
barbecue.
now, Kit. Listen to me. No. We're not having this argument. My argument can be as broad as I want it to be. Okay? I never said pineapple on every pizza is good. It's good on some pizza. And I said that. You can wind the tapes back. I just knocked my headset off. You can wind the tapes back. And it will show it's good on some pizzas, not on every pizza. There are certain pizzas where it's really good on it, and most pizzas is garbage. Don't get me wrong. I will not slap pineapple on a just like a pepperoni pizza. I won't slap it on my Philly cheesesteak pizza, but I'll slap it on my barbecue chicken pizza all day.
You've only had it on a barbecue pizza.
Ooh,
that doesn't negate my
plot
point.
thickens.
That does, because then you are not, you can't. No, you're like saying, oh, Mars is cold, and you've never been on Mars.
You haven't either, but it's still a proven fact.
They don't know.
We have science to prove it.
I don't know. Maybe it doesn't feel cold. Maybe it feels like 100, even though it's freezing. We don't know.
That's not how temperature works. That's not how it works,
are you on Mars? Is temperature the same on Mars?
Are you trusting the lizards who are telling you what to think?
I'm trusting the lizards. The lizards have proven me very faithful so far. I haven't had any problems with the lizards.
So the world is flat like a pizza, and pineapple shouldn't be on either.
Yeah. Boom. Mic drop. We win.
I don't know where the argument
shit,
is.
globalist.
I don't... I'm not sure I agree with any of it, but I've also been so confused at this point that I don't really know what the argument is. I don't know where the argument was.
It's straightforward. So. The government is lizards. Pineapple doesn't belong on pizza. The Earth is flat, and Mars is cold.
No, Mars
could be warm.
Mars is hot.
Mars
I'm
is
sorry,
warm.
I forgot the argument. Fight for the real cause.
I don't know where that argument went, so I'm just gonna be forced to disagree with all of it, even though some of it I was agreeing with earlier. I lost track of what the argument was, so I had to play devil's advocate now. And
so you are saying that pineapple belongs on all pizzas?
Not every
pizza. He just said. Actually,
that's what I said.
No. More interestingly, he just said he's playing devil's advocate, and if he's advocating for pineapple on pizza, and he's advocating with the devil, and the devil's bad, well, so is pineapple on pizza.
You don't know me. I might be a Satanist. You don't know that.
And that means you're bad. You're not in God's grace.
Actually, don't believe in Satan.
Like I could have a giant what's the thing?
A vagina?
Not a swastika.
Listen, I might be a Satanist.
A pentagram.
I
could have like a pentagram carved in my chest. You know that?
Hey, you could. Wait, we don't know. We can't prove it.
No, you can't. Not until I take my shirt off, and that's happening later this episode. Anyway.
Ooh, can't wait.
I don't think you know where the vagina is if you're taking off your shirt to show us that you have one.
Is it not dead center in your chest?
I'll show all of you.
No.
It's dead center in your chest, covered in teeth.
Oh God.
Every time you take off your shirt, it goes,
"Here's my vagina!"
And then, every once in a while you hear, "Sacrifice, sacrifice."
Nom nom.
I eat pineapple.
Pineapple. And everyone goes, "Oh, the vagina! It needs a sacrifice." Feed it a Hawaiian pizza, quick.
And this is how babies are made.
Yeah, then 9 months later, a little baby boy pops out. Only boys.
Yeah.
Girls are. It's a
Yeah,
whole other
only
thing.
boys. That's not girls.
Can somebody
boys.
draw us a chest vagina with teeth eating
Maya.
pineapples?
Hold on, I'm gonna
You
message
just yell long
Maya.
enough, Maya will. She'll do it.
Okay, good. Because if that can be a T-shirt, I will wear
my
that
God.
to work and get fired. And it'll
would.
be
Oh
awesome.
shit, that's a really good T-shirt idea. I thought you just wanted it for fun, but no, to actually wear.
I
Oh
just-
my god.
I just texted Maya and I was like, "Hey, can you draw a chest vagina with teeth eating pineapples? It's for Kitt."
It should be like right on it, boss.
She has no idea.
You
She
know what's
still has
bullshit?
no idea
It's
what
actually kind of bullshit that my health. I'm the cartooner, and yet I'm like the third worst artist in the group. It's like Maya's like way above me. It's kind of bullshit.
Who's two?
Who else is above you? Because I cannot draw.
Probably, you know what? Probably I don't know. Russ, maybe. I don't know.
I don't.
I mean,
can Russ draw?
I do all my art, so I
Okay,
guess.
so Kitt. So it's Maya, Kitt.
So Kitt has just inserted himself into the group.
I'm not even in
Hey,
the group.
So I just thought about something. Kitt has now been on more episodes of the show than Russ has.
Well, I've definitely talked on more episodes than Russ has.
I think
I think we should. Yeah.
it might be equal because Russ was on episode 1. He was on episode 10. And he was actually on the Kitt episode, the first one.
Was he?
Yeah, he just didn't say anything.
What's
I
that?
don't remember Russ being a part of that.
Yeah, he was.
Oh God, he was there. I remember that now.
So he's 3 for. You guys are 3 for 3. You got to be on one more episode. Then you overthrow Russ.
Show up tomorrow. I mean, last week for episode 10.
Yeah. If you're on last week's episode, then we may be completely wrong.
Which, of course, you are because we know that because it was last week. Duh.
Yeah.
But you also know that I wasn't there because it was my wife's birthday and stuff, and I had to do
Yeah,
birthday
except
stuff.
she's like, you know what? If you really love me, be on that podcast. And you're like, well, I do really love you. I'm gonna be on that podcast. That right?
Kitt's wife.
I mean, I thought that's what happened a week ago.
Yeah, that's what I remember happening because he busted. We started already and we were all depressed that Kitt wasn't there.
Yeah, we were just
but then
crying.
He busted
We
through the
spent the
doors and
first
he's
half
like,
hour
"Fear
crying.
not, I have arrived."
I remember that day going differently. I don't know. I don't know why.
Well,
It might have been all the drugs consumed to get us through the 24-hour live stream.
yeah, they say not to mix your, drugs with alcohol, and well, we fucked that up.
Yeah, well, in the episode, the episode you guys might have watched, this episode 10 may be different than the episode 10 that we're remembering because of the copious drug use.
Oh yeah.
It was like Woodstock if Woodstock was a podcast.
It was like
It's
Woodstock if
probably
Woodstock
close.
was full of hallucinogens
Yeah.
instead of just like.
And-
Well, actually, I don't know. I don't know anything about Woodstock. Maybe it was.
I don't know. Woodstock might be cold. We don't know.
Did Woodstock have pineapples? The world may never know.
Yeah, well, that was the interesting thing about Woodstock. This is the one thing I do know is that like they had a giant battle in the middle when half the people with their swords were for pineapple pizza and the other half with their katanas were
Like,
against
first
pineapple
half
pizza.
Of that statement, I was like, he might be right about this. That might have actually happened.
No, it was like ninjas versus knights, except they weren't. None of them had armor, and
And that's why you don't see many people with pineapple on pizza anymore.
exactly.
Is because
that battle at Woodstock.
the good team won.
Yeah, the good folks of good folks.
Samurai sword Woodstock.
Boy,
Yeah.
what a doesn't event.
I'm pretty sure Bon Jovi wrote a song
Yeah.
about
That's where
too.
Living on a Prayer came from.
Whoa, whoa, living on the side without pineapple.
No, not a lot of people
Whoa.
know that song was actually about pineapple on pizza and the giant battle royale that happened in the middle of
Yeah,
Woodstock.
it's actually
69.
the inspiration for PUBG as well. So
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
That's
That's-
where it all came from.
actually, you know what?
This is all true.
Change that. I should
Yeah.
change it to Fortnite so we get more views.
Oh
Why
yeah,
not both?
nobody likes PUBG.
No, well,
Ninja,
just like get that.
Ninja plays the one.
Fortnite so we have that
yeah.
SEO. Yeah. Got to grow the channel. I mean, I know that with the amazing episode 10, we hit 1,000 subscribers, but like we got to keep going, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no,
I think
of course.
I think with Kitt here now for real and not just as a hallucination, we'll hit him.
I was a hallucination.
I'm not really sure. I don't really remember. I kept trying to put my hand through you.
I pretty much just came out of it like 2 hours ago. So.
Whoa.
yeah, and it's been like what? A solid
it's
month
been a
since episode 10.
Yeah, a few weeks at least, yeah, or something. I don't know. I've been blacked out, totally whacked out of my mind. I don't know. It could be a year from now. I don't know. Happy 2-year anniversary one.
Oh, this is a 2-year anniversary show. Woo! We finally got to the topic of pineapple.
Finally, a couple years later. Yeah, thank God.
So, what are we going to talk about today?
I was just assuming Kitt was going to supply all the topics so we could be real mad.
I listen. Legit, I mean, seriously, the last few days editing and stuff, I have no. I'm not. I didn't know this was happening until about 2 minutes before we started. Honestly.
I didn't know it was happening until
Yeah,
like,
me and Kitt planned this whole thing out, not knowing that Cartooner was not in the chat that we planned it in.
I thought it was weird too because I was like, man, usually Cartooner has like a good quip here or there.
And I was sitting there on the toilet at work today looking at the chat, and I'm like, me and Kitt are the only ones in this group. It's just me and Kitt.
That's
it was
funny.
a group.
I was sitting on the toilet when I was reading that text.
Dude, we were like toilet
We were
buddies there for a
toilet
minute.
buddies.
I haven't
We
shit
had
in like
some
4
kind of deep
days.
connect-
Kind of nervous about it actually.
See, that's why he wasn't in the chat because he wasn't. He wasn't part of the
Oh.
toilet sitters.
Great. Yeah.
Toilet sitters.
Oh, stop! I'm gonna have to make a graphic.
Don't worry, you can just use the one from Roof Sitters. It was equally as bad.
Oh, I made. So I have a new. As everyone who's watching this knows, I have a new segment on the Showy Show called Dick Pic of the Week, and I made a real nice intro for that. I just thought you should know that.
So where do you get these from? These dick pics from? Is my question.
Reddit.
Oh,
There's
okay.
there's a subreddit called Rate My Cock, and I just went on there.
Oh, you frequent this?
No, I didn't actually. I was kind of pleasantly surprised to see that subreddit specifically existed because I just
Pleasantly surprised.
well, yeah, because I googled Reddit dick pics and then rate my cock, and I'm like, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm rating cocks.
What?
So
What
it
is wrong with you?
What?
let me tell you, it's a funny segment because it's me taking pictures of people's dicks very seriously and really critiquing the framing and the lighting, and it's great.
Do you just describe it and just not show it? Because
No,
you can't
I
show
show
it.
the picture, but I just blur out the dick. Like, just the dick.
Well,
the whole
that's
thing is fine.
That's the whole reason to look at it.
Well, I know. I get the fun of looking at the
Jesus
dick, so you guys
Christ.
just have to see. You know.
Jesus.
No, trust me.
Christ. Hey, here's an idea for Patreon: the raw, uncut edit.
That's very. I was thinking that.
Oh, no.
Listen, but seriously, no. The way I blur out the dicks and stuff, you could very much tell the shape and everything about the dick. It's not exactly subtle.
Our channel's gonna get taken down.
No, because it's still blurred out and fine. It's just that. It's just that you can definitely tell what the dick looks like.
Oh my.
So you said it was Reddit Rate My Dick, right?
Let's look it up.
It's reddit.com/r/rate my cock.
Oh, Rate My Cock.
Right. Yeah.
I'm glad I almost spelled something different.
Well, here we all go,
Yeah,
internet.
have fun.
Don't do it. It's a trap.
So yeah, like my plan for every week, I'll just go there, look at the most recent one, unless I start getting fan submissions.
Oh.
Please don't. Please no fancy.
Nope, never mind. Why did I go there?
I don't
Never
know why
mind.
you guys went there. It's
Because
not like a pleasant
100% of the fan submissions will be Tim.
place. Yeah, I know.
No, God. Okay,
And-
that's it. We're wrapping it up. I quit. I retire. I'm gone. Bye.
Well, you don't
Nice
have.
run, Kitt. You
Listen,
can have
I
my
would be
place.
the one with the misfortune of having to look at Tim's dick. So
Well, okay. Question. If he actually did send it in, would you actually critique it on the show?
yeah, and I definitely have an uncensored version, so everyone can look at his dick.
I feel like that's bad somehow.
No,
I'm
yeah,
okay
definitely.
with. Isn't Tim like 14? How old's Tim?
He's like my age.
Is he?
Yeah, I
think
forget
Tim
you're
was
older
about
than me.
17.
He's my age, I think. Maybe older.
Remember?
Actually, he might be like right
if
smack in
you-
between us. Actually, and I'm thinking about it.
If you send
That's not where I want Tim.
dick pics to the show to cartooner@cartooner.com.
No, it's
you
GoBicker.com,
need to-
please. And
Yeah. GoBigger.com/only cartooners eyes.
Yeah.
Remember.
I'm gonna have to make that now.
Only cartooners eyes.
And I'm just gonna get dick
remember,
pics there.
you need to be above 18 in order to participate due to legal reasons.
Well, I also just happen to prefer adults over children.
Why are we soliciting dick pics on our
I'm not.
podcast?
I'm just saying, if that happens to be a thing in the future,
What is happening?
I'm
right
happy.
now?
I'm happy
What is
to judge
happening
people's penises.
on our show.
It's my show, okay? The showy show is mine, and I'm happy to judge people's dicks on it.
But you're soliciting them on the podcast, which is a communal thing.
Just like the dick pics.
I'll call it like communal dick pit. GoBicker.com/communal dick pit, and you just submit pictures of your dick there.
This may be the happiest day of my life.
It's amazing. It's amazing how a show about a dude riding around in a big white van is the most family-friendly thing we have on our channel.
Like, kind of by far, honestly.
Like,
I mean,
yeah.
Like on episode 2 of the show we show, like I made a pedophile joke. I made a 9/11 joke. I think I made I made a joke about the Indians. Like, it's bad. You know, it's racist. It's just bad.
God, I'm gonna have to get a lot more racist.
Yeah, you can.
I think not getting a lot more racist is better than. Like, I think if you have a choice,
it's better, but not on brand. So.
Oh God.
You gotta think about the brand, kid. That's what you're not thinking about.
So when does this episode 2 come out? Isn't it supposed to come out on Fridays?
Episode 2 is gonna come out in an hour and a half. So, well, it's not. It's not gonna come out in an hour and a half.
I'm anxious.
I mean, an hour and a half a couple weeks ago.
I'm really honestly kind of looking forward to seeing that.
The issue is, it's not done yet.
Oh.
I still have to add in all of the Hector bits, and
oh, so you're still editing this?
I'm
This
still
isn't gonna
editing
come
it.
out till like midnight.
This podcast fucked that up. I didn't know this podcast was happening, or I probably would have been quicker about it. But yeah.
Yeah.
So and I'm probably coming out at like 9 instead. But yeah, it's coming out tonight. I mean,
I'm very excited to see this
Yeah.
because I have been promised so much.
It's like 15 minutes long. There's some legitimate news in there. There's some weird bits. There's an interview with Ray Romano. It's a whole thing.
Bad Ray Romano who really loves Tom Hanks.
Wait, how do you know that? The episode isn't out yet. I mean, it was out.
we've already seen it because it was out
you're right,
like
shit.
a while ago. Remember? We're
Yeah.
in the future.
Man, time is so weird. Am I right? It's crazy. Like,
Y'all just saw the curtain whip back there for a second. Y'all just saw that we are all three actually cartooner in his bedroom
huh?
with puppets.
Oh god, it's the worst nightmare. Did you guys know that, speaking of nightmares, because my life is a living nightmare,
Aren't all
did you know that like my constant paranoia is not actually like just me? It might just be everything else that's broken with my brain. Crazy.
What's your constant paranoia?
I'm just everything's.
That you just have a
I'm like,
broken
okay,
brain?
I'm always sure that there's cameras watching. That's for one thing. I'm like, all right, there's a hole in the wall there from something from a decade ago. There's probably a camera in there watching me.
See, I'm paranoid about that for some reason with like audio recording. I'm like always afraid someone's gonna record something I say.
Well,
Like
I can turn off the recordings if you want. I mean, I'm the only one watching.
Nah, it's fine.
By the way, that was a very pretty red dress. I'm just
Thank
throwing
you.
it out there.
I got it this weekend. I thought somebody would like it. Glad somebody enjoyed it. Did not get the same reviews downtown.
No, they're like, what the fuck? And you're like, sup, dude?
No, my legs are just too hairy to pull it off. I mean,
I think the hair is what makes it because it gets
Yeah,
that
I
nice
Well,
nice
it's like,
contrast.
Well, it's like the legs are one thing, but the beard is a whole other.
yeah, it's just
well,
a lot of.
well, I mean,
lot of-
normally people start from like the feet and you move up and you're like, ooh, sexy, and then they see the face and they're like, oh, that's ugly. No, here you have to start in the like very, very middle with your eyes closed.
Go both direct. You gotta go a little cross.
Yeah, one eye goes one way, one eye goes the other.
Yeah, like a chameleon. Oh my god, I saw a woman leaving a gas station the other day. Her eyes were pointing 2 different directions, and it took everything I had not to laugh.
Oh god,
It's like a butterface, only it's a butter legs and face
And face
body.
and everything else.
but totally hot though. Still.
yeah,
it's the
smoking
sexiest.
hot.
As long as you don't see any of it. It's,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I
it's
like-
like Schrödinger's babe. As long as you don't see
it's
all
both
of
sexy and not sexy.
exactly, it's Schrödinger's babe.
So when are we starting this podcast?
Oh yeah, I probably should start recording now. Yeah.
Yeah, we probably need to start recording at this point. That's a good idea. Welcome to episode 50 of the Not Really But Kind of show. It's
Not
the-
really, but kind of.
That's yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that's the name of the new thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we rebranded after it was so terrible.
The other, I still have an appreciation for Krusty Pickled Grandmas as a name, but I think Not Really But Kinda is a little more betterer. You know what I mean?
Not really, but kinda.
Yeah, exactly. You get it.
Yeah.
It's the same
Not
joke we
really.
make every week,
Kind of.
which is kind of the
but
point.
In everything.
where's the
What's what? Hannah, what do?
Huh?
What?
what?
Speak up,
I
God.
don't wanna. You speak up.
I am.
Y'all need to.
All I do
calm
is
down.
speak up.
This is a podcast about peace and happiness.
Yeah, that's
and,
true. This is the GoBicker's official meditation podcast,
yeah,
where we're all
we
very
come
calm
here
and never angry.
No, we don't get angry here on GoBicker. We're all real happy.
Despite our
peaceful boys.
despite our aggressive company name, which literally is about arguing.
You're not wrong.
I mean,
We did
the name of the
choose
company is literally Go Argue. You know, like GoBicker. So, but it's a very peaceful Zen place. You know, we just try to have a good, happy time, hold hands, sing Kumbaya, all that shit. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't swear. That's not very Zen of me.
You're ruining the Zen, man.
No, see, that was an aggressive hum. It's gonna be.
Yeah, your hums are not. You have to haroom
type-
like in a.
Get a
in,
just like a.
Hey, we can start
We can be a
a
barbershop,
barbershop
quartet. Oh
Yeah.
but
With only 3 people.
yeah, a barbershop trill tet.
What? A wimble what?
A wimble
Oh,
what?
we moe, oh, we moe,
In
oh, we
the
moe,
dark
oh, we moe,
of the
oh, we
night,
moe,
the
oh, we
dark
moe,
of the
oh, we
night
moe,
sleeps
oh, we moe,
tonight.
oh, we moe,
We don't know where our ranges are exactly, so we're just kind of testing it
No.
out.
Yeah,
I've
we're
said
working on
I've said it
right
before.
now.
This podcast is improv. It's jazz. We kind of figure it out as we go, and I
Oh,
apply
yeah,
that
my
to everything
trumpet.
in my life. I just try to fucking
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
"Oh, I don't know. See what happens.
Just wing it.
Yeah.
Oh, we moe.
You know, quite frankly, that was such a good rendition of that song that we're probably gonna get copyright striked. So we should be careful.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. That's. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for ruining everything by the perfect on pitch performance that I did.
Well,
My bad.
yeah. Thank you. I appreciate the apology.
It's heartfelt apology.
I could tell. Hey,
Yep.
you had a list of movies, right, that you think are overrated?
Let's fight.
Yeah, I do.
I want to hear this list.
Okay, so I have the list of 10 most overrated movies. Now, I do want to clarify something real fast because some people, might get this a little mixed up. By overrated, I don't necessarily mean bad movie.
Yeah, it's just.
I just mean it could be a good movie. It's just, people like it more than they probably should.
Okay.
Like the Beatles, they're really overrated.
As a music person, I have no opinion, or as a non-music person, I have no opinion on that. Sorry.
As a music person, I hate the
As
Beatles.
a non-music person, I don't give a shit.
See?
I hate
Overrated. There we
another.
go.
I do
so this
agree.
list might
as
not
much
be
as I enjoy like 5 Beatles songs.
this list might not be as bad as I was expecting. But okay, we'll start with 10 and move down towards 1.
Okay.
I think
Let's do it.
I think the first 6 are gonna be people are gonna be like, okay, yeah, no, I agree with those ones, and then 4 through 1 is probably where the fighting starts.
Okay.
I'm ready to fight. Let's get this started.
I got my
All
gloves
right.
on.
Number 10, Hell's Moving Castle.
I don't think I've even seen it.
Never
or
even
heard of it.
No idea what that is, so sure, it's very overrated.
It's one of those ones done by the person who does the anime stuff that everybody likes.
Oh,
That
it's one of those
explains
Studio
why I
Ghibli
haven't seen it. I'm not a
movies.
weeb.
Yeah, and
Okay.
so
Oh.
everybody's like, "Oh my god, this is so great!"
I know
And it's
I know what you're talking
"Yeah."
about now, but yeah, no, I still haven't seen it. So
Yeah,
No
it's
idea
the
what it
guy
is.
that did the broom show or broom anime
what's that? It's
I
like
really wish I understood.
with the witches.
like something's
And
delivery
then there was
service.
another one with an island.
Yeah.
I really wish I
of
understood
dead
what
people.
was going on in this game or this podcast. Anyway, next.
Next one is The Usual Suspects.
Haven't seen that one
Number
either.
9.
That's the one with Kevin
Haven't seen
Spacey
it.
in it, right?
The what?
Kevin Spacey, he's in that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I know of the
Spacey's in
movie.
anything.
Again, still haven't seen it.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe this won't be that bad because nobody's seen any of the movies.
It's literally just random movies get pulled off.
Yeah. Here's some random movies that nobody's ever seen. They're overrated. One person liked them. Too many.
Next.
Spy Kids.
Okay, fuck you. Spy Kids is great.
I'll fight you on that one. I love me some Spy Kids.
Spy Kids, I think it's a little bit overrated. It's very corny and bad. I mean,
that's
it's
why
fun
it's so
whenever you're a
good.
kid.
That doesn't make it overrated. It just makes it corny and bad.
Yeah.
You're corny and
The
bad.
fact
doesn't
that
mean-
you're willing to defend it makes it overrated because you should know that is so bad of a movie.
Yes, definitely.
What?
But that's why it's so good.
Just because something's bad doesn't mean it's overrated.
Yeah.
I don't think a
but
movie's
how
overrated.
people talk about it is they talk about it like, oh man, I loved this movie as a kid. I still love it now. And it's like, no,
but that doesn't.
it doesn't hold
That's
up.
still not them saying it's good. That's just them saying like what we're saying now
that was
we
an
still really
enjoyable
love
movie
it.
from your childhood.
Just because
yeah.
it's bad and weird and corny, but it's just that weird bad corniness is what makes it so enjoyable.
Yeah.
So how dare you, sir?
So Kitt, you're wrong.
No, I agree that it's enjoyable. I just think that it's overrated.
Kitt, you're wrong. Next.
Number 7, the Blair Witch Project.
Okay, I'll
I've never
100%
seen
on
it,
that
so-
one. I thought
that one,
it's fucking boring, and I get that at the time it might have been kind of a zeitgeist type thing, but not when I saw it. Like I saw it when I was kind of young too, and it still was kind of like fucking yawn, boring. So.
and the fact that the advertising was the best part of it, but the advertising means nothing for us now.
Right. Yeah.
So,
Advertising
because
means
they made
nothing
it
in
seem like it
hindsight.
might have actually been a real thing.
Right.
And it's like, oh, that's cool. And then watching the movie now, you're like, well, the only way to really make this movie interesting is if you think about how the two people that were with the girl probably murdered the girl and recorded the whole thing instead of them being
I
they're
can
not
see that, I
actually being a
guess.
witch. That's the only way to really follow and be like, oh, hey, this actually is more interesting.
Yeah, I guess
They were just
conspiracy
trying to
theories
murder
about
somebody.
the movies more interesting. Yeah, that's a good point. But yeah, I'll definitely agree
Yeah,
overrated though.
other than that, it's pretty boring,
Yeah.
as you said. Nothing happens in it except for, I'm so scared.
Well, it's just like dark shots in a tent, and they're scared and they're crying. It's like, all right, yeah, I got it.
Yeah, and then they yell about a map for an hour.
Yeah.
So
Like when I saw it the first time, I swear the movie was like 3 hours long. It was just fucking kept going and going. And I'm like, good lord, when does this end? And then when it ended, I didn't even understand what the fuck happened. I'm like, wait, they're in a house and one guy's in the corner and what? Okay, well, whatever. And then it wasn't until afterwards when I had it explained to me that I went, oh, see, I wasn't even fucking paying attention. It was so boring. So.
Next.
it's okay. Y'all probably didn't see this one. It's Emily, Amelie, Emily.
I heard of it, but I never.
I know,
watched
yeah,
it.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I know some people really love that movie.
Yeah,
that's what I've heard too.
it's one of those movies that people just absolutely love, and I'm like, oh my god, why?
Yeah,
It's
see.
pretty
I'm
boring.
gonna guess you're wrong about that, just considering how many people love it.
Oh, you should give it a
I
watch.
should give it
and
a
then
watch.
you'll be like,
Though. It's
oh.
on my list.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand why Kitt would say that it's overrated. I mean, it's a pretty decent movie.
Yeah, I've heard it's a good movie because I've seen a lot of stuff for it. It's just one of those movies I never watched.
Yeah, it's one of those where it's like, okay, this is decent and well written, and it's pretty good. But the amount of people that just absolutely die in love for it is like too much.
It's one of those
I think-
movies that you watch once, you're like, that was good, and then you forget about it.
Yeah,
I don't even know what it's
But I'm
about,
getting-
quite frankly.
I don't either. I'm looking at the pictures on Google, and it's pretty buck wild. There's like a green-haired woman with rape eyes and a weird
Rape eyes.
thing. She's got some very rapey eyes. I'm sorry.
I don't know what the fuck that means, but
There's an alligator.
huh.
she has the evil eyes.
That's one way to put it. Yes.
Okay, what's the next
right.
movie?
The next movie is actually a new one that came out that's on my list. It's Lady Bird.
Never
See.
saw it.
I would think just because you're just that slightest bit older than us, because you're not that old, right? You're not like
Uh-huh.
you're like 40.
45. What?
I'm 30.
30. Yeah. So
yeah.
okay. Yeah. So then I'm right. This should be like your wheelhouse, from what I've heard. Like this should be like really reminiscent of like growing up as a person in like late 90s, early 2000s, and yet you're like,
well, this is
eh.
this is based off of like all the movies that people like absolutely rave about. So it doesn't have to be like, oh, when I was growing up, this movie was amazing and it really sucked. It's a wide variety. I mean, the movies that I grew up with all suck, so it's hard to.
Wait, what is it? Well,
The 90s had
the 90s had some
pretty bad
real
movies.
piles of shit. Except though, it had a couple years also where there's some. Okay, going back to Tom Hanks, fucking what's it called? Forrest Gump.
Anything Tom Hanks
didn't-
has ever been in ever?
Didn't
you
didn't like all of Tom Hanks' hits come out in the 90s?
Every movie that Tom Hanks is in is a hit. Thank you very
But,
much.
like, all
That
his, like,
boy is a
classic
treasure.
hits.
Tom
though.
Hanks doesn't count as
Tom Hanks is immortal, and he
It's-
defies bad movies.
it goes over the timeline. Tom Hanks is every time.
Yeah,
every movie
he is-
comes out exactly
yeah.
when it needs to
Yeah.
in the time stream.
Tom Hanks is the perfect boy ever, as agreed to by the man.
If I could get really drunk and marry one guy, it would be Tom Hanks.
I'd do it sober.
I'd do it
You
less
heard it,
than
Tom
sober,
Hanks.
or more than what? The next step from sober, the one that
See,
it doesn't
all
even.
I'm trying to say is I just want to suck on some Tom Hanks.
I want to suck on little Tom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Everybody wants a little Tom.
just a little bit of it. No homo, though.
Oh, super
No,
homo.
no, God,
no,
no.
super homo. I don't know what you're talking about.
The more homo, the better.
Yeah.
So Lady Bird is basically just about a teen growing up with a bad parent who's trying her best, but and then she goes to college, so it's boring. That's really just a really boring movie that everybody's like, oh my god, this is amazing. It's like really nothing. It's just life.
But
it happens.
I mean,
she calls herself Lady Bird. What
slice of life movies are. I mean, it is a genre of movies that people like. I mean,
Well, I mean, there are some slice of my life movies that I'm like, okay, I get why people really like this one. This one's just kind of like, it's boring.
okay.
I mean, yeah, probably.
I guess it was shot in cool angles.
I don't know. I like. It's this, again the issue of just haven't fucking seen any of these.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this will make it easier if you've never seen it.
Yeah.
Why
Okay,
don't you put some real movies up there,
here's
Kitt?
the one starting for the ones that you've definitely seen. Number 4, most overrated movie. E.T.
You're wrong.
Whoa.
Boy.
It's
It's
an
time.
extremely overrated movie.
No,
For me to
it's
punch you in
not.
the
Not
face.
even remotely.
You're wrong. It's
How
pinnacle
is it not?
filmmaking. Our boy Steven Spielberg
Steven
did
Spielberg.
his... Steven
Who's
Spielberg.
also an overrated director.
No,
You're an
are you
overrated
kidding
person,
me?
first of all.
Actually, okay, maybe Steven Spielberg's movies, they can be hit or miss, but as a director and as like a person in the business, he is not even remotely
Spielberg
close
is a
to
good boy.
overrated. I mean, he's underrated in some ways, I think, just because of how much shit he's done. And so E.T. though, I mean, that's a fucking again, it's a classic. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, you're
It's
wrong.
It's
about
a
that,
classic,
Kitt.
sure, but it's bad.
It's not
I mean,
bad. What
it's
are you
not
talking
Like
about?
if you rewatch it, you're like, wow, this alien comes to Earth and like, oh, I want to go home. And it's like, well, you know what? The game's actually funner than watching the movie. So
the game that caused the video
I
game
watched
crash.
E.T. like last year, and it was still a good movie.
I watched it
It's
like
still
a
very
few months ago,
enjoyable.
and it's still really good.
Cheesy '80s effects, and it looks like hot garbage, but it's good.
Yeah, it doesn't look like. What are you talking about? No, even a lot of it holds up. I mean, like almost entirely.
Does it though?
Yes, it does.
yeah, does it though? That's my
I
point.
think-
Like, it
I
doesn't
think
really
it's a
hold
good
up.
movie. I think a lot
it's
of
a
the
good movie.
movies-
I'm not arguing that's not a good
I
movie. I'm just saying
think-
it's.
Yeah, I think it's a good
Listen.
movie too. Okay, let me clarify that. I do think it's a good
It's a
movie. I
great
think it's
movie.
overrated.
I don't think it's overrated.
It's
do
100%
I think
not
it
overrated. I
deserves
mean,
all
it's
the praise
just,
it
it's
gets.
just, it is. It's not like super important to me or something, but I know it is to a lot of people and stuff. Where just the whole. I mean,
Well,
just,
maybe for
I don't know.
you have the exact right amount of respect for it. But then there are people that are just all out over in love with it. That it's like, no.
That's
it
true
just-
for every
I mean,
movie.
a lot of people
have respect for the make of the movie, and it's fine to have respect for it. But I mean, it's too
people
much.
like stories of growing up and just like kind of simple, nice kids movies.
It's a pinnacle of filmmaking. It's great. I love it. And you're wrong, Kit.
Yeah, you're definitely wrong with that.
I mean, they had to take out guns in one of the remakes. Of
yeah,
it
well then
because for
then they
reasons,
put them back because they realized it was stupid. Don't start that shit.
Don't start
okay.
this fight, Kit. You will not win it.
I'm just saying it's overrated.
You're wrong. Next.
Okay, number 3, The Lord of the Rings.
You're also wrong.
I haven't.
The first movie.
I haven't seen it.
The Lord of the
What,
Rings, the
really?
first movie.
You
It's
haven't
only
seen
the
Lord
first
of the
movie
Rings?
of the Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Rings.
I mean, I bunched them all together as one, so I really can't
Yeah, it
differentiate
really is just
them.
one big long.
well,
Because every time
all-
I've ever seen Lord of the Rings has been in one long marathon.
Yeah, that's the only way to watch them. Like all together, all the movies are perfectly perfect. Perfectly
You can't
rated
say the ones
all together.
overrated. You're not meant to watch Lord of the Rings individually.
Just
It's
the
not
first
like-
one though is like people are like, oh, this is like the best movie ever made, best book to movie ever made. It's like it's decent, it's good, but it's boring if you actually watch it by itself.
You're not supposed to watch it by
talking
itself.
about
though.
it being
It's your
overrated
point.
though is weird considering the impact it had.
Yeah,
on
I don't really
everything.
think it's overrated. Even now, it's still one of the greatest movies ever made. Really.
I mean, it's a modern
be.
epic, you know.
Yeah, I honestly like in terms of like when it was even in the early 2000s.
Well, I
Like,
mean, they were
those
all shot
movies
in like the late
are-
90s and then come out into like.
Yeah, I mean those movies are phenomenally like even to this day. I'm surprised they were able to do some of the stuff they did in those movies.
Mhm.
Yeah, no,
Like,
sure. They do a whole lot of good stuff,
they
and
are-
it's really well done. It's just it's boring.
It's not.
And
It's good. It's a good movie with good people.
It's like they walk to one place and then they walk to another place and then
That's
they
every
go,
movie
oh my
ever,
God,
Kitt.
I got the. That's not every movie ever.
I mean,
It's
that's
just we're gonna go over here and do this thing. Then we're gonna go over here and do that thing. That's
And
every movie.
then
You literally just
the
described
entire
every movie
movie
ever
is
made.
them walking to a volcano and dropping something into the volcano. It's like,
I mean-
oh, I need to take out the trash, but I have to.
It was a
go
movie
to that
based on
trash
something
can.
that was written in the 40s. That was most everything. Where it's like, God, everyone's depressed for the war.
I mean, also
That's how
boiling it
things
down
are
that
made.
much. I mean, it's like Star Wars is just about a guy on a farm who his parents get burned, and then he goes to blow up a thing, I guess, or something. I don't know.
Yeah, the Star Wars is about a terrorist group. That,
Okay,
Okay,
we're not doing-
starting
we're
an
not
argument. So
Not
Kit,
doing that.
Kit, shut your mouth right now. We're talking about Lord of the Rings, not Star Wars. I will cut you.
I guess that was a bad
Next.
example.
Okay,
Fuck.
Lord of the it's really only the first movie. Like if you clump them all three together, it's perfect. But it's a little long, of course, because it's all three. But if you're just watching the first movie by itself,
You're not
which,
supposed
no,
to,
you're not
though.
supposed to, but you can.
Why would
And
you though?
That
People
doesn't make
treat
it
it
right.
as
You
if
can
the
shoot
first one is
somebody.
its
That
own
doesn't mean
movie.
you should. That doesn't mean you have the right to. You're supposed to watch
Don't
all
have
three
the
of them
right to?
together
Wait.
as God intended.
Wait. Also, didn't the first one on its own win some Oscars and stuff though?
Yeah. Because it's
For-
a good
just
movie.
For like a lot of
Just
shit.
because it wins Oscars doesn't mean it's not overrated.
That's
It's
true.
not overrated.
But
It's one
I
of the
mean,
greatest movies of our
for me,
time.
the definition of overrated is something that can be extremely good. It's just people like it way more than it actually deserves.
I don't agree
And-
with that.
No, I
Even
don't agree with
in
it
your
either.
definition. I think it deserves as much like as it gets.
It's like Star Trek, the original series. People like it way more than
Yeah,
it
Star
actually
Trek the original
deserves.
series. Star Trek the original series is a good example of this because it's hot garbage, but it set a lot of milestones.
well, also okay.
And
no,
it's
hold on
amazing
now.
to watch.
You also, when you're talking about classic TV shows as well, you got to think about context of the time as well.
Yeah.
And it's like, TV was a bit slower back then.
Yeah, but still,
I wouldn't.
like talking about Lord of
there's
the
definitely some
Rings,
shit in it,
I
but-
don't like. I just cannot agree with you in this for two things. Like even on its own, it's a fantastic movie, and I don't think it's overrated. But the thing is, like my main point is, all of these movies are meant to be watched together. There's no logical, sane human being that's just gonna be like, oh, I'm just gonna watch the first Lord of the Rings movie.
That's my biggest reason why I
I
haven't
really
seen
like
them
that
yet.
scene when Gandalf just blazes one up. No, they're gonna say I have a Saturday to kill and a lot of heroin to shoot up, so I'm gonna watch Lord of the Rings in its entirety, the full extended edition, because I ain't got nothing better to do, and that's what they're gonna do, because that's how the sane normal people watch the movies. God.
Yeah,
Mic drop.
but the first one itself,
Don't
though.
No, that's not how this works.
The fact that you're saying that you can't watch the first one without watching
not
the
what he
rest
said,
proves
though.
my
You
point.
can't watch the second one without watching the rest of the third one.
You're like, oh, well, there's no point watching the first one without the other two. Exactly.
That's not what he
There
said
you
though. He
go.
said you
Watch
can watch it on
any
its
of
own,
them
but that's
without
not
the other
like the intended purpose. Because yeah, it's a trilogy of movies.
Yeah, and being a trilogy of movies, the first one is the one that falls flat in the trilogy.
It's not
Because it's the most
overrated, though.
boring.
But it's still a fantastic movie.
It is
It's
a
still
fantastic
better than
movie,
90% of
but
the
people
movies
are
that come out
giving it
since
like a 20 whenever it should be a 10 out of 1 to
No.
10.
It's good. It's a good movie. It's not overrated. And I'll fight you on this. It's not an
I mean, it's not
overrated
what's
movie.
already
Now, it's not
happened.
like my favorite movie in the entire world.
you
It's
were
not overrated. I will fight you on this. But it's,
Fight me
it's not
IRL. Let's
overrated.
do this.
You're wrong, kid.
I'll be Gandalf and you'll be fucking
Boxing match
nothing.
over the Lord of the Rings.
You're-
Man, I can't wait until I get to number 1. That's gonna be.
Wait, what? This is only number 3, right?
What are we on?
This
What are
is
we on,
number
2 or
3.
Oh shit.
Number 2, I think that it's not gonna be as big as a number 3 for y'all.
ready to tear my shirt
but
off.
still, number 3, first movie, Lord of the Rings, not as good as people think. Definitely way better
fantastic.
with the
It is
trilogy
wrong.
as it's intended.
It is
As it's intended. With the trilogy, it's way
You
better.
can't say
and it's actually on par.
something's overrated because it's not being used as intended right. You can take the wheels off of a car and be like, well, cars are so overrated now. You can't even do anything with it. It's like, you're supposed to put the wheels on it and drive it, you idiot.
I mean, wheels by themselves are overrated.
Yeah, well, it is kind of okay. Well, you know what? What's number 2? I'm not even that big on Lord of the Rings, and I'm about to have a heart attack.
Yeah, you're so wrong. Oh my god.
Oh, okay.
What's number 2? I need to clean my glasses now.
Number 2 is The Godfather.
Again,
I've only seen it once, but it's a good movie.
It's a good movie. It really is a good movie. Well done, actually.
You're talking
I didn't
about
like it that
like
much,
one of the
but,
greatest directors of all time, and one of like the most revered movies of all time by
it
anybody
is one of the
who
most
knows
revered
anything.
movies of all time.
And I know you're wrong about this.
Yeah, The Godfather.
I know that it's the most revered movie of all time, but that's probably what puts it on my list of the movies that make it too overrated. It's because it's one of the most revered movies of all time, even though it's just kind of meh.
What do you mean?
It's also a trilogy, I believe.
Really meh.
So,
trilogy,
I mean, could you put all 3 of them together? Because if you put all 3 of them together, that trumps it down because of 3.
Let me tell you both something.
That's
the fact that
different.
movies are
It's
part of a trilogy
different.
means nothing, okay?
It means nothing when we're defending this
It
particular
means nothing in the context of Lord of the Rings. It means nothing in the context of The Godfather, Back to the Future, Star Wars, or fucking any trilogy ever. It doesn't matter. Movies, I mean,
Die Hard trilogy.
I think you can judge every movie on its own. And if it doesn't work on its own, that's one thing. But you're listing movies that still do work on their own, including Lord of the Rings, including The Godfather.
Yeah, Godfather definitely is one that works very well on its own, and it's a fantastic movie.
It works good on its own, but it's still kind of it's just not. It's overrated.
It's not.
I don't.
though.
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean,
That's definitely a movie I think that deserves its praise.
You're talking about a movie that's again. It's like one of these movies that's like you like. I think let me tell you. I think Citizen Kane is overrated. Yet,
Definitely.
I would say that just looking at all the crazy shit that they did with that movie, as far as just like new techniques for filmmaking, you gotta still respect it. And I probably would even if I don't like it as much, I still probably wouldn't
respecting something.
Hold the fuck on.
And seeing.
Even though I think it might be an overrated movie, I think I would still couldn't put Citizen Kane on a list of overrated movies, and I think similar-ish thing would go for The Godfather, where it's just such a well done movie that I just feel like you can't stick it on a list of overrated movies.
I just think it's a good movie. And there's one movie. I'm gonna wait till Kitt gets to the end of this whole thing before I say my one movie, which I think I kind of agree with your point, Cartooner. That is like it's kind of hard to argue with these movies that are like technical for the times. They're like technical masterpieces.
Yeah.
They made some big push forward.
A lot of
in,
times,
like,
not even for the
filmmaking.
times. You just look at the
Yeah,
filmmaking techniques and just how well
it's
movies
just
are put
very
together.
hard to put those on a list, but at the same time, there are certain ways that you can put certain movies on those lists. Like I would put Citizen Kane on that list because I don't understand I've watched it twice and I don't understand the appeal.
It's
a decent movie.
It's right.
I don't know why
it's
people
long
go
and
buck
it's kind of
wild
boring,
over
but like
it.
just knowing
Kane,
how important that movie is. That's why I don't think it can go on that list.
Being the problem is that Citizen Kane, it did a whole lot for the industry and stuff like that. It doesn't mean just because it does really good for the industry doesn't necessarily mean that it's one of the best movies ever made.
Except it is, though. That's the issue.
Not because how do I word like the first movie ever made is kind of garbage now because it's a train going somewhere. But back then, it was the coolest thing ever. And so in the time period, that would be on the list of the best movies ever done.
Well,
because
it was also one of like 4 movies ever done at the time.
It started the whole thing.
This is different. We're not. Nobody's
picture.
talking about best. We're talking about what's under and overrated and all that. And if you're talking about importance and stuff, then again, you can't put that train movie on.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Just because something is important for the industry doesn't mean it's not overrated. It means it's important and it's really cool that brought the industry further along than it was before, and it's amazing everything that they did and put into it. It just doesn't mean that it's the best movie ever made. Like the Beatles, they brought a whole lot of music and love and stuff, and they played with right and left sound things that nobody's ever done before. They still can be considered overrated.
I see what you're saying, but I feel like something that I feel like it's like the opposite, where it's like if things are culturally important or technically important, even if you don't like them as much and you wouldn't put it on like top 10 best, I feel like it's hard to, just because of the importance, you can't stick it on an overrated list, because it's like I feel like the importance of different things makes it kind of outweighs.
Yeah, it's a very hard thing to argue, because I agree with Cartooner, but at the same time I don't, because it's like there's one particular movie I've got in mind that I absolutely do not understand. Like the only way that this movie is any way decent is because of the technical background of it. Other than that, it's just hot garbage, and I don't understand why people like it. But let's go on to number one, and then
no. Before I do number one, let's go ahead and see what is everybody else's most number one overrated.
I feel like me and Kitt, you and me, have had this conversation before, because mine is 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Okay.
That movie, for everything it did, it is for the time, it's a technical masterpiece. I hate that movie. I've seen it 3 times. I cannot stand that movie.
If we're gonna talk about overrated, I feel like actually Kubrick in general can go on that list, quite frankly.
There's a couple Kubrick films that I really, really like.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, he's talented, but I don't feel like he's quite as important as some of these other movies. And I guess that does kind of contradict what I'm saying about Godfather.
That's exactly what I was saying.
It's very hard. I agree with you, because he's got some really, really good movies, but a lot of his movies, it's just like, it's cool.
He only had a few.
I see the cultural importance of this movie, but for the most part, it's like, they're just not great. I don't know. I just really don't like 2001: Space Odyssey, and everyone fights me over that.
Yeah, Hal is just so cool, though.
It's such a
I have a jalapeno plate.
I fell asleep the first time I ever watched that movie. I could not make it.
I think everybody did, to be fair. Because
I had to rewatch it to try and see if I could find the point. And the third time I watched it, it was because it was on.
The best part of the movie is, I'm sorry, Dave, I can't let you do this.
Yeah, that's literally the only part of that movie.
Yeah, and it's at the very end of the movie.
It's just like, hey, that's the part.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah. From pop culture.
And then, I'm scared, Dave. And then you're like, oh my God, the robot has feelings. I feel for it, and it knows that it's about to die. That's
yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much just like, hey, that's the part.
The movie, though,
I just wasted 3 hours of my life to get to this point, and I'm kind of questioning my life choices. That movie, I don't understand, because there are people out there that argue that like it's such a great movie outside of like all the technical aspects, and it's like it's so slow. And it's like, yeah, it's cool that it's like really realistic and it's like quiet.
See, I can agree with that movie choice as it's an overrated. It's one of my all-time favorite movies. But it's because of the tacticalness and how the story was actually created. But watching it is pretty.
See,
kind of
I can respect it. I respect it as someone in the media, like have media background and all that. I respect it for everything that it did and brought to the media industry. I just cannot, for the life of me, enjoy that movie. It is physically impossible for me to enjoy that movie. It's so slow and so boring. And there's so much better Kubrick films.
And that's kind of how I feel about this list of movies, that I can understand it, I can respect it, except for Lady Bird. Terrible.
See, like, the only one, E.T. and Lord of the Rings is the only two that I've had like a really, really big problem with, because I think those are both definitely movies that are up there, they deserve all the praise they get. The Godfather, I can kind of see it, but for it's like 90% there. The other two were like definitely yes.
E.T. It's like my version of your 21 Space Odyssey, where to me it just kind of seems pretty boring and stuff rewatching it, and it might just be it's my personal opinion on it, I guess.
I mean,
this is all opinion,
but it's still
this is all subjective.
It's all subjective. Everybody listening to the podcast now has the same opinions, so good luck with that, Tim.
Anger. Rage.
And Lord of the Rings, it's like, as a full, as you said, like it's meant to be, it's good. But by itself, because you can judge movies by themselves, as Cartooner said, it's kind of boring.
The issue with a trilogy that's a trilogy going in, and which Lord of the Rings is, it's like, yeah, you gotta think about the fact that does it tell a complete story on its own, and it's like,
I feel like that rule shouldn't apply to Lord of the Rings just because it's so fucking long. Even in the books, it's like so long that it's kind of meant to be one. Like if they could have made an 8-hour or however long, it's like 12 hours Lord of the Rings is. If they could have made a 12-hour movie and just released it, that's probably what they should have done. Because that's pretty much Lord of the Rings. Yeah. It's just long and drawn out. It's good, but it's long and drawn out in the good way. And that's why that's honestly like the one movie, because I agree with your point, Cartooner. I kind of, though, at the same time, it's like Lord of the Rings is my one exception to that rule. Because I would never sit down and just watch one Lord of the Rings movie. I sit down and watch all three of them because I have a Saturday to kill.
Right.
And usually I watch them like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's how I would end up watching them.
Well, yeah, that works too.
And then Friday, I'm like, oh man, I can't wait for the other two, but I have to watch this one first.
Yeah. See, I mean, it's because I mean, it's like I with like Star Wars, I feel like I could watch any of those movies and just be like, yeah, cool, whatever. Gonna watch Episode 2, my favorite Star Wars movie or whatever. You know, you can do that. That's fine. But like Lord of the Rings,
Episode 2.
I don't know.
Revenge of the Clone?
I just pulled that number.
Attack of the Clones.
I was making the Attack of the Clones. Get it right. It's my favorite movie. God.
It's definitely the worst one, but it's not that bad. Just kidding. Totally is.
That's the most underrated movie ever made.
It's the most underrated Star Wars movie. Yeah. But I mean, like, I can watch any of those. And there's a lot of other trilogies that I'm not thinking of because I'm stupid that I kind of feel. But I mean, just Lord of the Rings, like, that's one of the things that you just kind of have to watch it together. I don't know any sane, logical person that's just gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna watch the second Lord of the Rings movie tonight because I'm a badass or whatever. No, you watch all three of them together.
That's what all the people watching Lord of the Rings. Like, yeah, I'm badass.
I got my Gandalf costume on, and I'm gonna watch episode 2 of Lord of the Rings.
I don't need episode 1. Fuck it.
I'm a baller.
Return to the Gandalf. God.
So
that's.
What's the number one movie?
All right, you ready to fight?
I'm ready to start tearing clothing off. Let's do it.
You thought the fighting was bad.
I want to be naked by the end of this podcast.
E.T. and Lord of the Rings and The Godfather. Here comes the number one most overrated movie according to Kitt, which is probably going to get me a lifetime ban from the show.
Please be Grease. Please be Grease. Please be Grease.
It's a tie between Grease.
Oh my God!
It is The Empire Strikes Back. Star Wars.
See, okay, no.
It's meant to be watched all together, Kitt.
Well, no. See, actually, The Empire is a really good example of the thing where it's like it stands on its own. You can follow it from beginning to end. If that was your first Star Wars, you can get it. But I know everyone puts it at number 1, and I know I put it at number 3. So I sort of agree almost.
See, I like that one. That one, I'm on the people
really
that would do
good.
it as number 1.
It's really, real good.
Really good.
It's a really
movie.
good movie.
It really is. But it's I think it's overrated. And the reason why I think it's overrated is because if you think about that movie, it's a filler movie.
I mean,
like
no.
it's for in between 1 and 5, or not 1 and 5. 4 and 6, I guess. Yeah, 4 and 6, and it's basically here's how they got to 6 from 1. Or
okay, you're looking at it purely on like a universal level of like, did they push the universe forward? And it's like, yeah, maybe not that much. Yeah. But I like Empire. The same reason I like The Last Jedi is because the world, the universe doesn't move forward, but the characters do. Those two movies are very much more character driven, and the characters really progress. And I think that's why I
do agree that it was very character driven, but everybody puts it like this is the best Star Wars movie ever made, and it's like it's a good Star Wars movie.
They're all good, all of them, every single episode. Fight me.
I mean, 1, 2, and 3. And Last Jedi. I hate it.
Can't believe you didn't like The Last Jedi. That's insane. It's such The Last Jedi is so good.
I still need to see it. It's on Netflix now. I think it's on Netflix now. I need to watch it.
You really should. It's real good.
Episode what is it? Episode 5 now. They changed it. I say this like I was alive in the 70s when it all came out.
I mean, it was episode 5 when it came out as well.
Yeah.
Funny thing is, whenever it came out, people actually didn't like episode 5.
Yeah.
Like when it first came out.
Just like The Last
It wasn't
Jedi.
until later that the people actually more...
And now it's considered the greatest.
It's not considered the
Is
greatest,
it
considered the
though?
worst.
Empire is. And it's also, and Last Jedi still isn't considered the worst. That still follows to episode 2, so...
What? Episode 2 is the best Star Wars movie. What are you talking about?
But episode 2 had that big giant war in it.
Yeah.
Which
the
had a
War.
couple cool shots in it.
Yeah.
Like the shot when like they're
I
all
don't
it's all that sand and like, they're all like...
I don't know. I feel like episode 5 was a really good... I don't want to say it was overrated.
I guess, I mean, quite frankly, I wouldn't think of that as overrated, but knowing my ranking, I guess it is, because considering I put it at number 3 compared to normally number 1.
It's kind of as much, and the thing is, my thing is, like, as much as I argue about Star Wars, I think Star Wars as a whole is kind of overrated.
How dare you, sir?
I like
we
Star
go.
Wars. I love Star Wars. Don't get me wrong. I don't understand why it's like the pinnacle of filmmaking.
It's, well, in
when
that case,
I
see, that
think
is
there's
definitely
so
not.
much better
See,
film.
when
Yeah, because people act like it's the pinnacle
See,
of filmmaking, and while I love it and appreciate it for everything
Yeah.
it is not the pinnacle of
I
filmmaking.
am-
It is far from
I'm
it.
glad. Well, that's not far from it. Don't be ridiculous. But what I don't get is the legitimate pure anger about it. Like I will
Yeah.
turn it up to 11
That's my
for
thing.
the
That's my
podcast.
thing.
But like I'm not
People-
legitimately that opinionated about it.
Yeah, no,
know?
I'm not either. Like people get super into Star Wars and their arguments about it. It's like at the end of the day,
Well,
I really
I mean,
don't
you look at like
care.
all the stuff after the Last
It's-
Jedi and how people were like
Yeah,
bullying the cast. You know, like
it's a good fun movie that you go and sit down and watch with your loved ones. Just chill.
yeah, and like
chill.
oh, and actually the whole thing
movie.
recently came out that the guy who played Jar Jar was like almost killed himself after all that because he was just like got so much
I
shit
mean, I
from
would
it.
too. Let's be honest.
So
Oh, dang.
yeah, so it's like Star Wars fans are the fucking worst.
People, yeah, that's kind of like really the only reason I say it's super overrated is because people go buck wild over Star Wars stuff, and it's like, it's really good movies. Don't get me wrong, I love those
Yeah, but it's
movies,
like,
but
they
they're
are
not worth
movies,
like the
though,
amount of
you know.
people going buck
see,
wild over them.
That's the reason why I put that one as my most overrated, because everybody says it's the absolutely best of the Star Wars movies, and as you said, the Star Wars movies is a little bit overrated by itself, or the series is a little bit overrated, and so that kind of is the forefront of the most overrated of them.
God,
That's
I
why
can't
that
believe I just
one-
agreed
that
with
one hits
Kitt
you.
You know
about
what?
something
It's-
on Star
I think-
Wars.
Yeah, because the fact that
and,
Empire is
number-
always number 1, and I think that makes A New Hope way underrated because I feel like that's easily the best one.
A New Hope is one of the best ones, definitely.
Easily the best, not one of the best.
I'll agree that New Hope is underrated because people think Empire is better than it, and it shouldn't be. So, and Lord of the Rings, I've seen a whole lot of people that go like buck wild over Lord of the Rings, so that's the reason why that's in there. And it's for the similar reason where it's like, oh yeah.
See, but I've never seen people be like,
Not like Star Wars.
go call up, Gandalf and be like, yo, I didn't like what you did in this thing. You should kill yourself. I've never seen anyone do that. I've seen people do that to like Harrison Ford or whatever.
I saw
people aren't
for the
as
first
buck
Lord of the
wild.
Rings, one of the elf lady people wasn't supposed to be in it yet. A couple of the people that I know that loved Lord of the Rings got on a big group thing and started a petition to boycott the rest of the movies because the girl that was not supposed to be in the movie yet was in the movie on the first
I know
movie.
what you're talking about.
See,
And
I just feel
like
like
it was stuff like that where it's like, really?
Yeah.
it's not as buck wild as with Star
Yeah, no.
Wars though, because I remember like having not seen and formulated an opinion on Last Jedi. I've seen the outrage for Last Jedi, and I don't understand. Like, I need to watch the movie so I can actually understand why people are mad about it. I don't even know what people are mad about. 'Cause I
Well,
haven't
it's like
actually
it's
read
one
it
thing to
avoid
not like a
spoilers.
movie, and something to be like
But
legitimately
yeah.
pure anger and hatred towards a movie. Like it was like someone came up to them and punched them in the dick, and like it was a personal offense to them, which that is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's a little bit like that level of love for a movie is a little bit too much to where I can say, yeah, it's kind of overrated because I can think of movies that I do that for that it's not Star Wars.
And
Grease.
yeah, it's more of a dislike for the Last Jedi rather than like a loathing for the Last Jedi.
Yeah,
If that helps.
yeah. I know.
But I agree with what you said. That's why Star Wars is number one.
Yeah. I mean,
God,
that's.
I can't believe we agreed with something Star Wars.
I know it's
related.
weird, but yeah, I guess we're all fucking.
And we're
there we
agreeing.
go.
That's cool. I did it. I thought this was where I was gonna die.
You know what?
Like assassins were gonna jump through my window and stab me.
I was so nervous the whole time you were gonna say Back to the Future, and I was gonna have to.
No,
Back
to the Future was the best movie ever made.
I know. That's what I try to tell everyone.
Well,
He could have been his own grandpa. I'm just saying.
Well, it would have been his dad. It was his mom. It wasn't his grandma. But
oh yeah, it was. Yeah, he could have been his own dad.
and also, well, no, because he still would have gotten erased because it would have fucked up everything because Marty's part George, and so if George didn't fuck Lorraine, then Marty would never have existed.
Yeah, he would be Marty squared.
No, you'd be Marty dead, gone, erased
Now
from
he just has
existence.
But no, because then the Marty would still exist because half of Marty would be in the new kid.
Part of the movie is about
So
the
it would
fact
be
that him and
one-third
his
Marty.
kid, or his sister, or his siblings are being erased. Come on, did you not watch the movie?
It would be 1/3 Marty.
Right, he remember he's on stage and had that horrible effect of him disappearing while he's playing guitar. That's because if George and Lorraine don't get together, he disappears.
Yeah, but if he just boned his mom, that would have all fixed it too.
I'm gonna cut that clip out and put it at the beginning of the episode.
I don't blame you.
He just boned his mom.
This is a great follow-up to all the incest we had in episode 10.
It was, yeah. I mean, episode 10 just kind of became a porno at one point.
Yeah, that big orgy at the 19-hour mark really set it all.
It was weird. It started at the 19-hour mark. It didn't stop until the 25-hour mark after the live stream was over. So it was a long...
It's still going to this day.
Yeah, some say. Legends say. Have it that the orgy is still happening. Oh, my God.
So, I'm legitimately surprised that we all actually agreed on it. It was... I don't know. I think it was the fact that like 90% of the list, me and Cartooner had never heard of.
No, I'd not heard of.
Yeah,
I'd heard of. I think all of them. I think.
The only one was that weird.
I needed to. I knew. See, once he described what it was, I knew what it was. You know, I just hadn't seen it. So.
Yeah.
Well,
list,
see, I played it safe apparently.
Apparently, yeah.
You shouldn't have. I was expecting to be a lot more angry than I was.
I was too, and I guess I'm kind of after the last couple days of being just editing nonstop and being really tired about it. Like, I'm glad to not have to also have a heart attack and yell at Kitt. So.
Yeah, I kind of am too.
You know, I was expecting y'all to be a little bit more angry too, but I'm glad that you weren't. And I think we did a good job of clarifying a lot of things partway through about how, you know, a sequel can or a trilogy can be categorized as each movie or as a trilogy itself. Just because it's industry pushing forward doesn't mean it's necessarily the best movie, but it's still cool. The fact that pineapple should never go on pizza.
Yep.
No. I think we cleared up like everything.
Yeah, you summed it up perfectly. Everything, single thing you said just now was right.
What about all that part about the Illuminati and the lizard people? I think we missed a lot of that, but I think you're still wrong about pineapple. But anyway, so anyway,
guy.
I mean, maybe don't judge me. So what's next? I don't know if we're supposed to bring topics this time. I didn't bring a topic. So
listen, you guys planned this out. If you guys deal with it,
I was just kind of letting Kitt.
I'm just here for the ride. All right.
I always have a dick pic if you.
I don't need a dick pic.
Yeah, I got one too.
Dick pics are different shows. If you want to submit them, go to Cartooner's Dick Hole.
GoBicker.com/
GoBicker.com/Cartooner's Dick Hole. And actually, I'll call it Cartooner's Butthole.
Is that all one word or is it hyphenated?
It'd be all one word. It'd be Cartooner's Butthole, and you can put your dick in there.
Okay. Since we're talking about dicks and movies and stuff, real fast, what is everybody's like thinks is the worst movie ever made that is not so bad that it's good?
Oh fuck.
Wait, what?
Like
Rephrase
The Room
the question.
is like one of the worst movies ever made, but it's actually good because of how bad it is.
I don't know exactly. I was thinking earlier. One thing that I think is what my overrated movie is. Number one for sure is Doctor Strange, but that's still not a bad movie though.
Yeah, it's not.
I just think it's way. People love Doctor Strange, and I thought it was kind of shit.
Really? I thought a lot of people put it as like an okay movie.
I think a lot of people really liked it. I don't know why though, because
I think the one I'd say the overrated one is Black Panther.
Black Panther 2. Yeah, I'll agree with that.
I do know a lot
Even
of people that think
racist.
the Black Panther is overrated.
Black Panther is super overrated.
You live in Texas where they're not allowed to have
They're
black
all
people,
definitely
so.
white.
Yeah.
And so are we.
Hey,
so we're
I'm
just supporting the Trump train right over here.
An eighth Indian or something. So shut up. Shut up, cracker.
Hey, I'm 90% Irish, so
Okay, so you're
I wish I.
even whiter than all of us.
I'll eat a potato. Oh, actually,
eat a potato.
Did I ever tell you the story about how I'm not Czechoslovakian?
I haven't heard it.
Okay, so my granddad, growing up, he would always tell us like, "Hey, we're Czechoslovakian. We came from Czech land, over where Czechlandia is, and we came to America, and that's how we became from America. So we're like 50 to 90% Czech." I was like, "Oh, well, that's cool. I guess I'm Czech. I never knew that. I guess that's why I like pastries. That makes sense." But I took this DNA test thing because I wanted to know where I came from, just to clarify.
You wanted the government to collect your data so that they could clone you in the apocalypse?
Yeah, more kits is awesome.
Horrifying.
So I would actually agree with some people. That would be weird. So when I did this, he goes, "Oh yeah, well, I just want you to know that you'll probably see some German in there too." And so this is not only me that believes that we're Czech. It's my mom also believes that we're Czech. Like 100% we're Czech. Like that's what we believe. And when I did this, he came and was like, "Oh, by the way, just so you know, you might get a little bit of German in it." And I was like, "Well, I wasn't really too worried about getting German in it. I think that was the point." And he goes, "Well, a while ago, we actually moved from Germany to Czechoslovakia." I was like, "Granddad, huh?" "Oh, we're not Czech. We're German then." He was like, "Yeah, no, it was somewhere around World War II. We went from Germany to Czechoslovakia." I was like, No, we invaded Czechoslovakia around World War II. We're German. We're not Czech."
Oh my God, Grandpa, we're Nazis.
And so I get the DNA test back, and of course, there's no Czech in there. There's German and Irish. That's it.
Just pure Nazi blood.
I'm 100% European, I discovered.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
And mainly Irish and German. Oh. So I was like, "Granddad, no."
Grandpa, no, we're Nazi.
I didn't know that I was a Nazi this whole time.
Don't worry, Kitt. We knew,
buddy. Yeah, I always kind of had that feeling.
You know what? I think Kitt's kind of anti-Semitic.
Yeah, I've never seen him talk to a Jewish dude.
One of my best friends knows somebody who met a Jew.
Okay.
So,
okay. Well, proved us wrong. Zoinks got again.
How's your skill? How's your skill with the oven?
It's great. I can cook anything.
Okay. Good to know. I'll take note on that.
Have you seen my Jeff Oldberger?
You're Jeff Oldberger?
Jeff Old, mein Herr. It's a German word.
Jeff?
I'm glad we all speak German here.
Ich kann Deutsch sprechen. Ich liebe Jeff.
Next movie, please.
So, everybody's movies that they think is the worst movie without being good because it's bad. That's where we're
bad
at.
Movie.
Bad movie.
Bad movie that's good? That we
bad
like?
movie
No,
that's
a
bad.
bad movie that's not good.
Bad movie that's not good.
Yeah, bad movie that's not so bad that it's good.
And a completely bad movie that's not enjoyable whatsoever.
I'd say...
for an example, like the Emoji Movie. That's terrible. And
Yeah,
and if you
Has
watch
no-
it, at no point is it good.
I'd say the same. I watched the original Cloverfield, and the second one was pretty good. I like it. It was a good movie, but the first one was just a stupid found footage horror movie.
The first one was
not very
good.
Was it
No,
though?
it wasn't. No,
Yeah.
it wasn't.
It was amazing.
No, it was kind of hot garbage. There was a weird
It's
Godzilla
the best
thing.
found footage film other than Creep.
I don't think there's ever been any good found footage film ever.
Creep. Watch Creep. It's actually good.
I will take it at your
The only
recommendation.
one that's coming to
Like,
mind for me
the
right
serious
now
Creep.
is Jurassic World.
Why do people hate that movie so
It's
much? I've never
fucking
seen
bad.
it, but I heard. Is it like I thought people really like those.
I know.
movies.
I saw it with a friend of mine afterwards. He's like, "Wow, that was really good." I'm like, "What? No, it was fucking bad." And then we've had an argument about that for a few years. I thought it was fucking.
I think it's
awful.
okay. I didn't think it was bad.
I thought it was just utter.
I didn't think it was
shite.
amazing either. I thought I was like,
But like, I know there's better examples than that, and I just can't think of them. I feel like I just tend to watch good movies, you know?
Yeah.
I
don't
try to watch
that
good
garbage.
movies, but then every once in a while I end up watching something horrible. I'm like, well, I hate myself for this last 2 hours. Thank you, me. The Last Airbender is my number one.
We don't talk about that movie. It does not exist. It is hot garbage.
That's the number one worst movie ever made.
It is real hot garbage.
Thanks.
I
I just had Mexican food delivered to me mid-podcast. I now have a tamale and 3 tacos. So, excuse me.
So we hit the eating portion of the podcast.
Yeah, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna beef down here. Just a cartooner loves me. Oh, look at let's.
So for whatever reason, Chris yet again decided to eat into his microphone. So instead of making you listen to that for the next 25 minutes, I'll include some out of context little snippets from that time, and then we'll get back to the actual conversation.
Did you say you like dick? So you said.
Oh no, I have heartburn. Hold on, I might die. I hope you keep that portion on, just for me.
Oh, 100% won't.
Why?
Because it's fucking disgusting.
You're fucking disgusting.
That's unrelated.
Yeah, you can't cut out my topic. It's not fair, and I will sue you for discrimination.
I can do whatever the fuck I want, Cracker. I'm in charge of this shit. You're in my house now, bitch.
Kid episode. Off rails more time than it's on rails.
Episode 18 of Krusty Pickle Grandma's was a kid episode, and that
was to this day probably my favorite thing I've done.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It was good.
It was awarded our best podcast at the Podcast Awards, and I'm sure this one will be up there too because it's just a shit show.
I still have my trophy for best guest of podcast in 2017. 2017?
Yeah, 2017.
Yeah, it was
what are we gonna get for 2018?
Oh boy! Well, we're only halfway through the year.
Yeah, we've got half a year to make something worse than this.
Yeah. We could do it. I believe in us. We can do worse.
Oh, my heartburn is back.
Hey!
I just burped and it came back.
Don't burp. That's the secret of heartburn.
No, he's a literal pig. I mean, he can't help it.
I don't know. I'm this close to finishing that tamale right now. This is real good. What the?
Oh, I learned how to make tamales.
Did you?
Yeah, and I'm actually good at it. That's the surprising part.
I haven't eaten anything even remotely close to a tamale.
Tamales
it takes
are
5 hours to cook.
amazing.
Like
I love. I found a place like not far from one of the places, the many places that I work, that makes them, and I love them. I love that place because I love me a good tamale. Definitely one of the more underrated Mexican foods.
All I eat is salad and eggs. I want something with shit on it. But not literally.
Okay, I'm gonna say Taco Bell is the most overrated.
Taco Bell is hot garbage.
Oh, I can 100% agree with Taco Bell being extremely.
It's overrated.
It's totally the most overrated. Taco Bell is 1,000 times % better.
Huh?
Taco Bueno.
Okay.
I have no idea what Taco Bueno
You know what's better than Taco Bell? Taco Bell. Eat shit, Taco Bell. Why can't you be like Taco Bell?
Sorry. Taco Bell, drunk Taco Bell. That's amazing. Drunk
That's the only Taco Bell that's worth it. It's like
Taco
Waffle
Bell
House.
is terrible, but drunk Taco Bell.
That's the only time to go.
Yeah. When I was in Illinois, that was the only Mexican food place there was, and I cried every single time I ate one of those tacos. Because I was like, I know what real tacos taste like. I'm from Texas. But I ate them because,
Well, you got it.
You gotta
right
have
there.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wait, there was another a place called Carlos O'Kelly's. It said it was a Mexican restaurant. I was like, bullshit.
Yeah.
It's called O'Kelly's. That's Irish.
Top of the morning to you. Welcome to my Mexican restaurant.
On 4th of July, I went to my parents' this taco place.
How do you remember that?
It's
That
like
was so many weeks ago now.
Yeah, no, it's been so long. We went to this taco place, and it's supposed to be like a gourmet taco place. My dad's just sitting there eating his taco, and he looks up and he looks at me and just goes, "White people shouldn't be allowed to make tacos."
It's fair.
I mean, he's not wrong,
Oh,
first
yeah.
of all. Okay, so I don't know if I'm going deaf in one ear all of a sudden or if my headset's freaking out because I'm only really hearing myself through one ear.
Are you
Or anybody.
getting a heart attack instead of a
might be.
heartburn?
I don't know what's going on. I might be having
Finally,
a stroke
I'm not the
right
one with a
now.
heart attack too. Oh my god.
which hand is going numb?
Actually, no, it's my hearing that's going out. That's good. Okay,
Oh,
I just
okay.
turned my headset around and it's still freaking out in my left ear. Good. So my hearing is going out in my left ear for some reason.
Well, you're falling apart live on air.
Oh, those tacos.
I'm seriously
Oh my
so
God.
glad it's not me this time. I feel like so often I'm dying on air.
I might actually die this episode. I'm not gonna lie.
He ate a taco and maybe ate
Listen.
tamale.
Listen, if
Yeah,
I
that
didn't
was
if
too
I
much
didn't
for
die
him.
during my stroke a
Ate
few
all
weeks
tomorrow.
ago, you won't die because of half of your brain shutting down or whatever.
What is going on? I mean, it's like seriously, it's like I'm just like one of my ears is just real bad right now.
It's gonna explode.
Oh, so speaking of food, my wife has decided that I have to go on a low carb diet.
Is that what Tim was
because
asking?
That's what I've been
apparently
doing.
apparently we're fat.
Hmm.
So I didn't know this. I wasn't
Kid,
informed.
Fuck.
you're
Kid, a few
I
weeks
was
ago,
happy,
a few
so-
weeks ago, I discovered I was obese, so I understand. And I'm on a low carb diet now too.
Yeah, and I miss bread and potatoes,
Oh my
and
God.
I'm Irish mostly and German, and I feel like I'm living in the potato famine,
Oh
and
yeah.
so I get it. I understand now why you just can't eat something other than a potato because French fries are potatoes.
Yeah, I know.
Potatoes
the
Potatoes
worst.
are in a lot.
And listen, like I'm Norwegian. I feel like I should have some blubber for the winter, but no. I I have way too much, and I'm unhealthy, and I'll probably die young if I don't do
It's
something.
also the dead of summer.
It's also very hot outside. You're
What
right.
what do doctors know? I mean,
Nothing.
I only got a degree in saying
Yeah, so
people are
they
gonna die.
say.
yeah.
Am I supposed to trust doctors now? Am I supposed to trust doctors, scientists, and the government? Ha, yeah, right. Bullshit. Everyone's a
Those are
liar.
people.
Everyone's full of shit.
So eat that second slice of cake. That's all I'm saying.
I've been eating the tacos.
I've never really had a sweet tooth, so as far as like sugars and stuff, I'm fine. I just really fucking want a bowl of cereal.
So I made the
type of
mistake
cereal?
of eating
cereal, I don't
this
care.
like there was this like I don't even know what the fuck it was. It was literally just like clusters of oats, and it was really really good. And I had a giant bowl of it, and then proceeded to shit myself silly for 3 days straight. So don't
A
eat that
bowl
kind of
of
stuff.
oats?
God,
It's like I don't know. It's like chunks of oats.
did you have,
is
did
all
you
it
have
was.
oatmeal?
It's like
Did
big
it have like
meaty
it was
chunks.
just called
No.
like fiber, the fiber cereal?
It was pretty much like have I ever told the story of the time when I was like 12 when I ate the entire box of Fiber One bars
Oh god.
in the course of like an hour?
I can see that. They're really good.
It's about 300% of your daily fiber intake in the course of about 2 hours will destroy your bowels.
I should try
I'm
it.
pretty sure, like, I saw things that I haven't eaten in years. There was a license plate that came out. I mean, it was buck wild.
What? Why did you do that, though?
I was a hungry boy, so I ate an entire box of Fiber One bars. And my mom came home and she's like, "What did you do?"
You're like, mommy.
And I'm like,
It's falling on your head.
Have you ever had it where like you had like one small tiny thing of poop, like just like clogged at the top, and then you need to fart or something, and so you go to the bathroom and like all the gas like builds up, and then finally it lets go, but it like shoots out. So
that feeling where it's like you get the cork pops and it's just like is the most
Yeah.
amazing
I feel like I never
feeling
have
in
a
the
cork
world.
pop. I just always open floodgates and just fucking paint the bowl.
You need to do a cork pop. I mean, it's the best.
Cork pop, it's an amazing
Oh
feeling
yeah,
because
because,
it's like
it's
you
one of
because
those
I have
ones where you-
control over my bowels. Yeah, right. I'll just keep
just
that in
try
mind
it-
next
try
time
a
I'm
cork
shitting
pop
my
sometime.
pants. Oh, if only I thought about the cork. What the fuck ever.
That's the most underrated of the poops is
I wonder
the
if you
cork
get
pop.
that same effect with butt plugs. Like, can I just eat a lot of Fiber One bars and shove one up there and be like, I'm trying to recreate this feeling?
Well,
Just get like a rope tied to it so you can just go like, without having to reach down there and grab it.
you gotta put it in there first, though. You gotta sit there with the butt plug in.
If you go to the website now, you can buy the
Do it, record it.
GoBicker, butt
We'll put it up
plugs.
on the Pornhub count.
Wow, it's so amazing.
Wow, this is the
my
best shit I've ever.
fetish.
Oh, take it. Oh my god.
This is the kind of content the world deserves.
It's very GoBicker, I gotta say.
I like how on our website we still have about our dog.
That will never leave. We can all be
And
multi-millionaires.
my favorite part is it says real pets here, and there's nothing below it. Oh, no, it links to an Imgur thing. Never mind. I forgot about that. Look at all those good boys.
And people say that I'm the furry. How much?
Because we like our pets? How dare you, sir?
He said it creepily.
I'm not boning my dog, dude.
You were the one that said it, not me.
I'm not boning my dog.
I can edit that to make it say you're boning your dog.
You
Dude,
better not.
edit
If you're gonna edit that, but you're not gonna keep in my food review portion, I hate you. I'm boning my dog, dude.
What? You hate us for saying that you shouldn't bone your dog?
I want to bone my dog.
I didn't get that. I'm sure it was not great though. I love edits.
Oh, I do too. Oh, I can make you say I love boning my mom.
Hey, how about no?
Oh my God, you guys are some weird fucks. Oh, God.
Listen, butt plug poops is the only thing that I'm like...
I'm weird, but I'm only butt plug poop weird.
Yeah, that's the extent of it.
Well,
that's still pretty fucking weird, though.
That's a good thing, because it comes out like a cannon. It's awesome.
I mean, it's like popping a cork on a bottle of wine. It all just kind of flows out, and your pants
that
fit a lot
work.
better.
It like bounced off the toilet and then popped out. I was like, "What the fuck?" It was weird. You should try it sometime, really.
Listen, again, I don't have control over my bowels. I'm like an old man. I'm like an old man where it's like, once I realize I have to take a shit, I have approximately 60 seconds to make it to a toilet.
The way I do it is I'll eat a block of cheese and then down like 5 Fiber One bars. The block of cheese solidifies enough to create the cork, and the Fiber One gets rid of everything behind it.
And you just have to eat a lot of Mexican food so you get the gas buildup.
Yeah, and then you just down some refried beans for about 30 minutes.
And then,
how much? It's not a specific amount. It's just how much ever you can fit in 30 minutes.
It's kind of like measuring distance and time.
Yeah.
Measuring refried beans in half-hour increments. Oh my God, Tommy ate 30 minutes of beans.
No, run for that.
I don't know about you, but that's a lot of beans.
Oh, yeah, that's a lot of beans.
In 30 minutes.
That is literally a shitload of beans.
Hey, cartooner, I have a question for you.
Yeah, what?
When this podcast started like a year ago, did you think this is where it would end?
Yeah. I knew like we could start off clever and interesting, but it would eventually devolve into butt plugs.
I mean, we're having like a very, very deep conversation right now, I think.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's deep, but it's definitely important.
Have you ever gone to the bathroom and
Yes.
Yeah, once or twice.
like you go to pee, but then you sit down on the toilet because you're a man and you don't care that people know that you sit down on the toilet to pee.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
and then next thing you know, you're actually pooping as well. It's like, oh, I guess I'm doing this now too.
No,
I've been there before, and it's a wild ride.
That's that one's a weird one because it's like, oh, I'm just gonna go to the bathroom real fast, and then an hour later they're like, did you die? And it's like,
No, my butthole fell
no,
out.
but the toilet did.
I had to find it.
I went digging for treasure. Found it. I feel like the goddamn Goonies.
Oh, I need to change my list. That's an overrated one.
The Goonies is overrated?
Yeah, who was that, like, one guy?
Are you just making fun of special needs people now?
No, it's like
we made fun of Vern Troyer offing himself. I'm pretty sure we can make fun of anything.
Hey, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to make fun of Kitt for not liking the Goonies. You're not helping anything by bringing up all the bad shit we've done.
I'm saying there's fat shaming in it, and that's terrible.
Listen, as a legitimately obese person, I don't care.
Yeah, I'm looking out for your rights and needs and feelings.
No, I'm alright.
You don't have to because I'm doing it for you.
Well, thank you, I appreciate it. Looking out for the big guy.
Yep. Yeah. Everybody else can see you, so I mean.
Yeah, I feel so bad about that, and that's why I don't leave my room and I just edit for weeks on end, as my service to society. My number one choice for civil service would be to be the real life Batman. But obviously, I'm not gonna do that. So number 2 is never leave the house so no one has to look at me.
I think I would fail so hard if I tried to be like real life Batman.
Well, yeah, obviously, because
It's very hard to
Yeah,
live.
I would be like, yo, bad guy, you should, and then I would be dead instantly.
Well, I mean, I would
And
assume if
then-
you're trying to be Batman, you'd have some sort of armor on, because that's like a big part of Batman is.
Well,
suit
yeah,
and
yeah,
armor.
you would assume that, but then I would be doing it, and I would be like, oh,
It's
shit.
just like a
that would be
trash
my,
can lid duct taped to his chest.
Yeah, that would be my thought. Like right before I died, I was like, oh man, cartooner said armor, shit,
He's just wearing a ski mask and holding up a trash can lid.
and that's it.
Stop in the name of the law.
What the fuck?
Like nothing else, just a trash can and ski mask.
No, yeah, he's completely naked other than that, just flopping around in the wind.
And then I get shot, and I'm dying, and I'm like, oh man,
Hashtag dicks
I
out for
should've-
justice.
I should have worn a little bit more, maybe.
Like at the very least, underwear. The rest of it, I don't know.
A very revealing G-string.
Kids running around with a ski mask, a garbage can, and a thong.
I think we just got a new shirt.
Garbage can and thong,
Message
man.
Maya, get her to draw it.
With the mask.
Yeah, ski mask, garbage
Hockey
can, thong.
And that's it. Flames on the thong.
No, let's not be too ridiculous here. She's only one little child. I mean, 43-year-old man. Hey, child, do you want to draw this nearly naked adult?
I said, yo, dog, got another request. Kit wearing a G-string ski mask and a
No,
garbage
it's
can lid. being
edit
the
that.
defender
Change
of
it to
justice.
thong. I want specifically thong.
Okay.
As creative director, CEO, CFO, and every other position.
I'm putting thong in bold text.
Okay, because I feel like the thong is the important part.
Yeah, G-string and thong, they're 100% different. One could be considered a sandal.
I feel like G-string, kind of gender neutral. Thong, very feminine. That's my.
It's got to be a lace thong.
Yeah, it's gotta be sexy. Otherwise, what's the point? Well, let's wrap this up. Kit, thank you very much for being here again. It's always fun. It's always it's always an experience.
No
I wish you didn't have such a shitty schedule so we can have you on more. But then again,
Yeah.
maybe your
I
shitty
wish
schedule.
I didn't too.
Your schedule is like also makes it a little bit more special when you do come on. So I don't know. Maybe it's a little.
I always feel special when Kit's here.
Yeah. I always just feel special. You know what I mean?
And Russ is also here too. You heard him
Yeah.
throughout the entire show, the same amount as last time.
I'm here the whole time. Oh, Russ, you silly goose.
Our favorite boy.
You know what's funny? I don't know if Russ has ever even really been mentioned. Not really, but kinda.
Not really, but kinda.
Anyway,
Definitely now.
go to goBicker.com/Patreon. You get all the shit we do now. Cause we're doing a lot now. You get it all early. At least a few hours, if not a whole day. It depends on how quick I
If
am.
Cartooner can get done editing it.
Yeah, it's this one. I'm trying something new now that because we did the live one that just kind of went up. Probably, I think. I don't know. I don't remember. But I'm trying to like not edit quite as much, and then just try to just fill dead air with talking.
I love how much at one point you were like driving in the butthole to where you were like, need more editing, and now you're like, I don't want to edit anymore. All I ever do is edit.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much.
You're running 3 shows now, and I want to talk to you about a 4th show.
Are you gonna fill the dead space with more talking, as in like?
Well, just make sure.
Just random words, like you're gonna start reading
I just want
Shakespeare
to
in
make sure that
between.
the conversation keeps going and there's not just long pauses like there normally is. That's what I'm trying to do. Trying to make it so we're better communicators.
I ate 3
but anyway.
tacos during this episode. I'm proud of that.
And then also we need to cut out things like Chris eating and us talking over each other and
I think we should keep my.
I don't think we ever talk over each other.
We talk over
I
each
don't-
other.
I
don't think we've
listen,
ever
I don't know
talked
what
over
you're
each other
talking
even
about. I don't know,
once.
Kit, you're wrong.
Yeah,
That has
anyway.
never
Kit, I
happened.
just want you to tell you
By
that
the
you're
way,
wrong.
also
We always talk.
instead of also okay. Anyway, and then also all the shit's on GoBicker.com as well. So if you don't feel like using YouTube, you can use YouTube on our site because that's kind of how it works.
Yeah, we have such a good website, and I'm gonna fix it because there's some stuff I need to fix about it.
It's a little.
As our returning webmaster.
Finally, I'm not doing everything. It's kind of exciting.
Yeah. I have
Um,
to be the web designer again, which I should actually probably start on tonight, but I really have to pee. But anyway, go to that good website. It's going to be good. And go watch our shows. We have a lot of them now.
Yeah.
The Showy Show, Weird Man, White Van. Not really, but kind of. The other podcast that was here. If you didn't see that,
I mean,
you
yeah,
watch
there's
that?
not new episodes or anything, but you can go back and watch it all.
I was in episode 14 or 15
18.
or 16 or something like that. 18?
Oh, God, the heartburn.
And with that, thank you very much for watching. Like the video, subscribe. Goodbye.
Go to